Welcome to PIL, the Planetside Infantry League. This 6v, 2 teams containing 6 players face off each other on a pre-selected base for 2 rounds of 15 minutes. The goal is simple: try to outscore your opponent. There are many ways to score points. Each kill of your opponent grants 1 point, with a few exceptions. A kill with a rocket launcher is worth 0 points. A kill as a max unit is also worth 0 points. But killing an enemy max unit will grant you 6 points no matter the weapon. The first capture or defense grants your team a total of 9 points. After this, a capture in the same round will grant your team a total of 18 points. As you gain points, there are some actions of which you will lose points. A team kill or a suicide makes you lose 2 points. A team kill on a max or suicide as 1 makes you lose 8 points. Each team starts from a designated spawn position from a vehicle called the Sunder. When the first round ends, both teams will switch sides. The team with the highest score at the end of 2 rounds wins the match. May the best team win.
And we're back. Monkey DG's checking in. I'll be casting tonight's match. Pleasure to watch ATP versus Fiji tonight. And I'm joined by my co-cast, streamer Bagong.
Hell yeah, baby. Let's do this. I'm really excited for this game.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to watch. We're just approaching 8 Eastern right now, so we're going to go ahead and flip over to the later slides. I'm not going to show the schedule because this is the last match for tonight, so matches resume next weekend, I believe on Friday. But tonight, as I mentioned, we do have Fiji versus ATP. Both strong teams, both interesting rosters and interesting playstyle, so I'm really excited to see how they play Chak Fusion, and that is the map for tonight. I will bring up the observer cam in a little bit, and we'll take a look at the team rosters at the same time. See if this works. I don't have, yeah, see, I do have an overlay. Okay, so looking at the rosters, by the way, we've got Bubbles, Sobek, Empowered, Synovis, Snyder, and Almighty George playing for Fiji, opening as their starting 6. A pretty strong lineup, I would say. I do notice they're missing Jump Rope Jim, who is probably their strongest heavy, I would say, so that's definitely going to be a bit of a blow if they don't sub him in at second half, but, you know, we'll see how this team plays without him. On the other side, the TR side, we see Golf Lafleur, Arcano, Spy, RT, Warhammer, and Candyman. Again, pretty strong lineup. I'm not sure if this is their starting 6, but definitely has many of the members on their starting 6 playing here. So yeah, interested to see how they play this one out as well.
Yeah, and this is a super fun map to play on. It's one of my favorite maps to play on.
I will agree with that, yeah. I'll do a quick overview for people who are unfamiliar with Chak Fusion, but I think this is by far the favorite for a lot of people who play 6v6, just in terms of the variety of fights that you get, and sorry about that, we're back. The variety of fights that you get, and just the different ways you can push into the base is a lot of fun. Getting the ref whispering in my ear here. But in any case, so starting side for ATP is going to be up on the hill here, and their spawn options basically involve either going through the Dubs doors, which is the most common push, I would say. Into Dubs, it just becomes a powerhouse like Gone and Southern. And big fights usually on top of Fat here. Skinny Stairs here is another option for them, so if they're coming out of the spawn, they drop down the stairs and push directly in here. And this side definitely has an advantage in terms of getting to the point quickest, because point is really close to that door, and they usually have good crossfire opportunity from there. The last flank I want to mention is Catwalk here. So Catwalk is often underplayed by new beginning teams, but a lot of the higher level 6v6 teams will see at least 1 or 2 heavies playing this angle, because it becomes really strong to be able to get spots down this door 2 lane here and drop down on this door 3. And of course, there's always the opportunity for, you know, full all around the back flank. I think I just saw the team start. No spawn, no call from the ref, so. All right, well, that was
sorry, I put ready up in chat.
Oh, all good. Following Fijian now, big push on Fat. Looks like their whole team is there, and it's being responded by ATP, also pushing Skinny pretty quickly, and Dubs.
Just 1 heavy on Skinny though currently. Everyone else
I call
Dubs,
us.
it looked like.
Oh, Golf trades off Empowered. I think that's a pretty good pick with George kind of jostling the double doors into Fat. Let's see how aggressively they play this. Oh, good pick. Unfortunately, they traded that off. Good flank from... Is it?
Yeah, Bubbles dropping them behind.
It is the LA, and he narrowly gets out of there.
Warhammer gets
Unfortunately.
well.
Yeah, I think that was Candy Van a bit slacking maybe, or maybe got killed. Wasn't able to
Fiji gonna clear out server room, definitely.
react.
You can get
Yep.
control of the building.
It was a good push. I honestly thought that ATP had that. They got a couple good picks on Skinny and Fat, so the fact that they weren't able to clear it out definitely means that Fiji's winning those 1v1s a lot more. Let's take a look at...
Wow, Bubbles actually lives from that LA fight, which is impressive.
Candy
Good
just not able to finish that off. Big dubs push here. Let's see how they play this. Bubbles on the flank. Almost picks the bolt, but has to back out before getting...
Fiji has a really good hold right now with how many people are in server and
yeah, this crossfire is nasty. Oh, excellent pick. This aggressive run out from
pushing,
yeah, the aggressive run out from Fiji just really cleaned up the ATP guys there. They didn't have the right comms, didn't have the right crossfire set up, so getting pushed out that door was oppressive. Bubbles finished his Candy Van with only 1 HP. Maybe he's out of medkits.
I think he's out of medkits.
Yep, all that LA 1v1 can do that to you. Probably going for a redeploy now, or maybe back.
Looks like
to the
ATP's finally going for a push through door 3 and Skinny at this point right now, but Fiji already rotated into that.
I mean, they've got 5 people. I'm not sure why they didn't just push that. I mean, yes, there were people on Skinny, so the door 3 should have pushed. So now they're kind of half pushing in, half not. So we lost people on both flanks. They got a early pick on Skinny, and then the 2 people who pushed door 3 just got wiped when Fiji had nowhere else to worry about. Looking inside, it looks like Fiji's doing a similar hold to what we saw them do in previous matches, where they have most people inside, but a few kind of jostling in and out of the stairs, keeping an eye on Dubs, keeping an eye on Skinny. Although it looks like nobody's keeping an eye on Dubs right now. And Akdan comes out with a really nice pick on George, but gets punished for it before he can shuffle away. LA drops again.
LA drops, gets a nice pick.
Huge pick from Bubbles.
ATP's LA dropped way too early on that push. It was all 3 Fiji heavies were watching door 1 when he dropped, and no one else was pushing it from ATP. He wins the LA fight though, right there.
Good work from Candyman, at least refragging. But a bit late, yeah, I'll agree with that. Maybe a bit of miscommunication from the LA in terms of when his team was pushing. I've noticed Bubbles doing work here. Not like crazy carrying his team, but in terms of just the ability to stop flanks, he's been doing really well. Empowered holding Skinny. He knows that there's a heavy downstairs. Big conk. That's going to hit them both. Empowered's conk for sure. And they're going to use this. Spy's pushing up Skinny with RT, looking for a double peek. Backs out. Smart move. Got a Desi. Empowered with the bunny hop doesn't quite work. Yeah, bunny hopping into an MSW. Not always the best strat. Doesn't know the bolts are still there.
Ooh,
Does he get a pick? Nasty headshot.
Fiji's a really good hold on this building right now.
Yeah, Sonova's doing a really good job. Candy again on the flank, and I think that was mistimed because Candy was pushing probably 30 seconds after his rest of his team was pushing Skinny, and I think if he had pushed 5 seconds early, yeah, he could have definitely done some damage, but unfortunately not. Let's take a look outside. How ATP is stacking up here. Again, we got a Skinny push. Arkanox, sorry, I called him Actan by mistake. Wrong team. Pushing it alone. But manages to get out before getting bolted by... Seeing another door 3 and Skinny door push.
Fiji about to push out Skinny actually. Gets one.
What are your thoughts on the what are your thoughts on the door 3 Skinny push instead of the traditional Dubs push?
I mean, if they get it going, I mean they've gotten multiple picks on door 3 when they pushed into it. They just sat outside and waited though.
Yeah, that's the issue that I've been seeing here too. Oh, big drop from the LA. Still gets, yeah, Snyder, for what it's worth, did a really good job of avoiding getting killed too quickly and was able to bait the kill for the LA. Let's take a look at the rear here. Looks like we have Bubbles watching the flank above Dubs. This is a really strong spot for LA, so people who haven't played this map might be able to not understand how strong it is, because even if you're not getting kills here, you've got full line of sight on the enemy spawn, and you can do a lot of good spawning. Volko's down top.
Wow. Warhammer just got
all the way around the corner.
Super client-sided.
Yeah. Gotta love client-side hit detection. Got another door 3 push. Oh, I noticed Synovus is down, so the bolt's down. They really need to be pushing this fast. Because if they don't, then...
Wiped.
Yeah. LA drops door 1. The bolt's already on respawn, though. Candy barely makes it out. Oh, no. He won a 1v1 against a heavy. That was impressive. I don't know if he knows the bolt's there.
Goes down.
Yeah. That was impressive, though. Good comms from Fiji. They knew that Candy was still there. The fact that Empowered didn't win that, I think, was just down to 1v1 skill.
We got
Candy definitely had the upper edge.
4 from ATP on the
Skinny
stairs right now.
Yeah, I'm watching this now. This is a
Soba gets
good
one
stack.
pick and no one turns to look.
There's no one on Fat. They should be pushing this now. Now, see, they waited too long. Now Fiji's going to respond by pushing down Skinny. That aggro hold.
Yep, 2 on
Good
it.
bolt.
Guy gets
And
dropped.
Spy. Snyder just holding down left mouse button. It worked. This back and forth game with the Kami versus MSW. We haven't seen ATP really take a proper building hold at all this match.
Yeah, they've been out of the building the entire time, struggling to get a push in. I would like to see him do more of a Dubs Skinny push. Just because
I'll agree. I think that their issue is that
Skinny
the
door 3,
crossfire
they
is
ended
just... Yeah, the crossfire is so strong. When you have Fiji Heavy sitting on the top of Fat, they can just easily cover the door 3 push and the Skinny door push without having to worry about someone creeping up behind them. And I guess that is the LA's job to drop, but with such a clear route to get to the Dubs doors, I think that TR is making a mistake by not using it more. Bubbles and Candy. Let's see how this plays out. Candy using the Jaguar, which is a fantastic weapon to choose for this map.
Gets
Oh, Bolt.
bolted.
Excellent kill. But GD7F, just straight up crazy rate of fire, crazy damage. Arguably the best carbine in the game. And yeah, Jaguar does hold his ground, especially at medium range, and has a 0.75 movement penalty. But at that range, Bubbles definitely has the upper hand.
Oh wow, Sobek winning really close fight. Had little health left and got the knife off and killed.
Keeping an eye on the.
Interesting seeing an ATP heavy all the way at door 1 right now.
Yeah, I know. I noticed that because
fall.
I noticed that the flanks might not be being timed right, because we're seeing people get caught in a position like that door 1 flank was really aggressive to be flanking door 1 when you don't really have any picks and you don't have any building control. That's what I'm talking about. Catwalk though. Sobek cleans up the LA. Candyman goes down, leaving Bubbles free to push, but gets killed by Spy. Good conk out on Catwalk. Oh, meted just in time. Ox Shield saves him and kills Sobek. That was really.
Trying to find, I haven't seen really a push from ATP coming out at all.
Do they just get 1 or 2 wipe before they push? Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. And it's not like Fiji's playing super aggressively. Like, Fiji is mostly inside the building.
They're playing in
I would have expected them to be pushing out door 3 a little harder. I mean, it's working for them. ATP's not coming inside, but yeah, with everybody inside, I think this would be really much better of a opportunity for ATP to be pushing in and not getting picked outside. So we got a dub push. Yeah, and a door 3 flank. Fantastic from Spy, but you got to push in there, Spy. I don't know if he knows there's a guy on Fat. And now he knows. Refrags the respawn.
Only the
Synovus. Yeah, bolt and a heavy though.
Bubbles,
Yeah, it looks like the Arnella. Yeah, it looks like the Fiji guys won that. I don't think I saw the door 3 flank come fast.
If they push now, they can get in quickly. Fiji's, I don't know.
Oh, bolt's down.
They're still all down at door 1. They need to push in. They have control. But
Warhammer, an excellent shot.
3 Fiji heavies are coming up the stairs.
Bubbles playing like a heavy here, basically. You don't expect him to be flying above head level, though, so LA's can do big damage inside a building here. Good flank from Dubs. Oh, but we need a double peek. This guy behind server peeked a little bit late. Wasn't able to help his friend.
That's a wipe for...
No, there's still one more on Fat.
Yeah,
I think it's a 1-in-1. He's got to know Sobek's here. The point just...
There's a heavy actually on point.
Yeah. And Snyder already on the respawn. The Fiji kills or the Fiji deaths were so staggered that they're getting here much quicker than ATP is. So this is a mistake here, shooting point, not focusing on Fat. Okay, it looks like they did a quick check, because if Fiji was there, that would have been a easy kill. Bubbles looks free on roof right now. I don't see the TRLA. Spy gets double peek, door 3 goes down to Empowered, who meds. Good double peek. That's one thing I see a lot of Fiji doing, and I'm sure you see the same thing, is just their ability to play in pairs was really, really strong. Like, I never see one of them go down when there's two of them together, because they just back off when one gets their shields cracked.
We actually might be getting a nice stack up.
I'm seeing a Dubs push, yeah.
Skinny. Dubs
Spy,
push
oh,
right
good,
there.
shot in the back, fantastic. Spy, you gotta push that Skinny, though. Sobek's the last one there. George, rather.
There we go. That's
Conk's out top
push.
fat.
They have numbers right now.
Yeah, they do, they do.
super
Sobek's so
looking at that
low.
point. They need to push.
You really
it
gotta
as
push
well.
this. There we go, there we go. Now
I
you
think
push
that's
Skinny.
it.
Now you
Only
push
a
Skinny and you
Vulture
clean
is
that.
left.
There's 2 on fat. Empowered's running towards door 3. Oh no, the LA flank. RT 1 HP goes down to Snyder. Snyder gets traded off though, but 2 for 1. Golf goes down as well. Oh, that was a late push.
Bubbles wins.
Candy
LA
throwing
right
himself
there.
onto fat there, but probably 5 seconds too late. And now we see the staggered
Wow.
kind of
Really good
one at
ball
a
from
time.
Fiji. I don't know. I'm not really seeing a well-coordinated push coming out from ATP. It's just a lot.
They
of
had the
people
one
peeking
chance there, but then
early.
as soon as it fell apart, they started throwing themselves on one at a time. First the LA, then the heavy, and now they're down 2 numbers. They're staggered again. They gotta wait 30
Golf
seconds to
just
get everyone
ran up
back.
Skinny by himself and just got picked. He didn't have anyone pushing anywhere else.
I mean, I'm watching the Dubs flank right now. They're not ready.
Oh wow! But
Sobek's
Manos
doing
on the
mad
side.
work inside today. He's doing a phenomenal job holding that down. I mean, for what it's worth, I guess Jump Rope didn't really need to be here for this to clearly be in Fiji's favor. We're at almost a 50-point gap at this point, with still 2 minutes to go. Golf Lafleur goes down on Fat
Fiji
to
really
Snyder.
doesn't have actual presence in the building. They just have one heavy on the Fat.
They got to aggro this. ATP really has to push. They're playing way too passive right now. This guy's in server, maybe got conked, but still, like, you got to be at least putting out a Desi or something. Big amp out on Fat. It's gonna hit RT for sure. And Fiji is just free to walk in, pushing 5, death ball right up Fat. I'm waiting for door 3 flank. It just not. Golf, what are you doing? Oh, if he had traded that out, that might have been worth.
God.
But yeah, the wiggle doesn't really help when you're pushing into an enemy in a 2v1 situation. So you'll notice a lot of teams using Desis, especially when they're being pushed or pushing from the Skinny side. Desis do give 0 points, but what they can do is even if you get a 0-point kill, it prevents the Fiji people who have like a good hold on Fat from...
Spy actually fragging out with the Kami.
Oh, I saw that. That was fantastic.
Got 2 picks.
Good damage there. But what it does is it prevents the kind of the stronghold and the crossfire from being set up by having that 0-point kill. So Nova's running for his life on point. Oh no.
Once again, they get,
Oh no.
I mean, they both get wiped off, and ATP is playing pretty passively on Skinny when they get take control of Fat.
Mm-hmm. I haven't seen any point touch though. It looks like ATP is maybe getting top of Fat, but they're not able to get the numbers to push point.
I don't think they even have time to touch point.
Yeah, you're right. With 47 seconds left, there's not really that much concern. True. Big push on top Fat. Trades back and forth. It looks like Empowered holding his own.
Just being able to sit on
Oh,
Fats
look at him
like
go,
that
dude.
is-
That was what, like 3-4 picks? That was fantastic work from Empowered. Backs out, gets a well-deserved med.
was just sitting there and didn't move.
This is frag grenade. Interesting. Arcanoc's already low HP now. Takes a med. Being pushed by Empowered. Yep, there you go.
That's gonna be ATP
And that's a
wiped out the
wipe.
building.
It's a wipe, and unfortunately, I don't think there's any like repush ready. RT very low, being pushed by Snyder. Candy, you got to drop on him.
And that is time.
And that's gonna be half right there.
Interesting plays all around, and I think that the kind of
Yeah,
the
that is
dominating
fine.
hold that Fiji had is pretty evident here. Like they did a really good job of making sure that the flanks were locked down and just pushing together as a team. it really showed their practice on this map, I think, and maybe ATP's a bit of weakness in terms of how they're pushing as a team. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up the halftime scores here. We can chat a bit about what we saw. So, Bagong, how did you feel ATP and Fiji played that? What could they have improved on?
I mean, Fiji played really well. When they had a really good hold on that building for the first part of that half. I mean, they had two people on skinny at the top of skinny, and then they had two people playing on each of the doors, and like two people on fat. So they had almost every entrance covered, and at that point, it's an easy rotate to get over and cover and help out wherever they're pushing, and then still have people to cover flanks.
Yeah.
So they played that really well. I think ATP just, I mean, after the first 5 minutes, just started to trickle in constantly. I didn't see a well-coordinated push from them.
That was
the rest.
That
of
was
the
definitely one of
match.
the issues that I saw as well. So anytime ATP would get a coordinated push together, which did happen, it wouldn't always be like a perfect trade. So you know what I mean? Like we'd have like one or two people die early and then they'd be on the respawn. But instead of waiting for their team, those people respawning would just push in after the rest of their team's already been wiped. So what we see is, you get a 5-man wipe and Fiji definitely has control of the building, and then those two people that got killed at the start of the fight on the ATP side push in and they die too. So now Fiji's up +7 when it could have just been a +5 win. So I think ATP needs to understand, like, yes, aggro for sure, especially when you're up in numbers. But when you're on the respawn and the rest of your team is mostly or entirely wiped, you got to take a second and wait for another restack, because this kind of trickled push in is just not working for them.
Yeah, definitely. See how they play on the next side. They have a lot more options going into this side than door 1, door 3.
So looking at
crossfires.
Yeah, looking at individual scores, we've got all of Fiji positive, which generally means that they're having a good time. They're pogging out, bro. Mr. Bubble is the LA at +11, which is to be expected. His drops have been really well timed and really helps his team by probably getting a lot of spots, but most definitely also pushing behind the ATP flanks and wiping them out. Sobek +5. I've been seeing him do a lot of good work inside the building. Probably not as aggro outside of it, though, which is why we're seeing some of the other heavies get a bit more points. Empowered at +5. I saw a good triple kill on Fat Stairs a little while ago with him. Bolt Synovis +6 with 14 kills. I would have liked to see more kills from a Bolt on a powerhouse map like this, but maybe second round will be in his favor. And then Snyder carrying his team at +13 with 23 kills, making him the top frag of the game. So good work from Snyder. Last one is George at +4. I expected George to be a bit higher. I know that in past maps, Fiji has had George and Jump Rope as their top two heavies, so maybe he's just not losing his kills to Snyder here. Damage assist wise, they're also ahead. Fiji with 54 and ATP with only 36. You can take over for ATP if you.
For golf, we got -20. Arcano -14. Yeah, very brutal on
5 kills in a
-20.
single match. Oof.
5 kills, only 4 points, so must have got a kill with the Desi. It's unfortunate. Spy on -6, RT on -7, Warhammer, the Bolter, the only person going positive with +3, and Candy Van on -2. But Candy was playing really well. He was giving Bubbles a hard time on the roof, winning most of the LA fights that I saw. Just really bad timing on his drops, would drop into 2 or 3 Fiji heavies that were watching the flank.
I think that's kind of like
pushing anywhere else.
I think that's kind of one of the things this team might be struggling with, just is getting those coordinated flanks to be pushing together, because they did do some, but I think most of them weren't together like that. And Warhammer with a +3 is what I would expect to see on a bolt friendly map like Ghana and like Chalk. Looks like we might be starting soon. But with 0 damage assist means that he's definitely getting 1v1 kills and not stealing kills, but finishing kills from the rest of his team and not doing as many body shots or damage assists. But we'll see how this plays out. I know that let me flip back the cam. I know that some teams definitely prefer playing from the bottom side here, where ATP is going to be starting from, because you get a much better hold outside of dubs. There's a really nice railing here where the bolts can sit and get clean line of sight on anybody on the Fiji side respawning and pushing dubs. So I'd like to see the bolt play there a little more, at least get some spots off. And yeah, we'll see how this plays out.
Yeah.
Just a few seconds left, I believe, before we start.
Refs that were ready, and we'll see how they start.
All right, this tick on 0. I repeat, this tick on 0.
Oh, so we still have 45 seconds. Yeah. So I will point out then while we have this time now. So now that ATP is starting on the bottom side, they do have an opportunity to come to catwalk directly out of spawn. So normally we see the heavies pushing through door 1. So that's this door right here. Or alternatively flanking around door 2 and coming to door 3. But there is an opportunity as well to come through the building that I just went through and come up around catwalk. So being able to fly up here and then get spots and kills down towards skinny door. I'd like to see someone start using that. Maybe get a bit of variety in terms of the flanks. 10 seconds left before we go. I'm just going to keep my cam on ATP side.
Yeah, I'll follow Fiji.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go, 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 go.
That's one thing I've noticed a lot of the, oh no, struggling with the bus jump. You can do it. You can do it.
Yeah, it's something that, I mean, hopefully most people
Big
know
conks
to
up
use that
fat.
bus jump.
Fiji entirely going dubs, looks like. I don't see any skinny
Candyman
presence.
winning
That's
the LA fight again. Could get a good drop here, but I think
really
so back
strange not seeing anyone on skinny, because this means
Really
that
good
now
drop.
Fiji has to push through the heavies on fat. Candy trades off Synovis. Good pick from the Bolt there, leaving Snyder alone. Picks off Arkanox. So he's not doing bad work here, but I mean, there's 2 on fat. They need to be pushing this. There's a flank going on. Yeah, looks like that's where the heavies went. Empowered coming up door 3. Kills 1 on fat, kills 2. Golf LaFleur. Snyder,
Fiji got
whoops,
control of
Snyder left
building
alone
off
there. I'm surprised Fiji won that. I think that the 2 heavies in on fat from the ATP side should have really pushed server, wiped that, and then doubled back to respond to the flank, because the way that they did it was, if they're losing 1v1s, that means you got to play as partners, and if you're not playing as partners, we see exactly what just happened, where the flank killed 1 and server, who was left alone, killed another.
And they definitely should have pushed server, because the LA dropped after winning the LA fight and killed a heavy, and then was harassing another heavy, and they could have got
For
in
what it's
and
worth, I don't think that was
helped.
the perfect start from Fiji either. I saw Fiji go entirely dubs with only 1 on door 3, and but with not having any skinny presence there, it means that ATP could have easily just rolled all the way up the stairs to fat, which is what happened. And I think the only reason they lost that initial opener might have been just 1v1 skill, but in terms of team play, I think they had the upper hand. Trying to find people, looks like they're all outside. Conks and Desi's out of door 1. Golfleford peeking alone, kills the Bolt. 2 on the catwalk, though. This is what I expect to see. Fiji really showing their aggression here on the respawn, not just running into the building. Yep. Look at this. Empowered, shooting down on RT. Kills RT.
Push into the building. Go up fat.
Door 3 drop, yep. I don't know if George just knows he's spotted. Might be why he's waiting. Yeah, definitely spotted. But ATP's at least got fat hold, so it's nice to see ATP in control, even if they don't have point. 40 seconds left. Golf finally goes down to touch. Yeah.
And that's because Fiji had 2 heavies up on top of Cat. They only really need 1 up there. It just allowed ATP to just push in. And
well, I would argue that 2
out.
is okay, provided that they drop faster. I think they might have waited up there a little too long. And that didn't pay off for them. Fiji now stuck outside dubs. This is kind of the reverse situation of what we saw in the first half. Maybe ATP can regain some points here. Fortunately, Warhammer goes down. RT's facing the wrong direction and doesn't know that Snyder is pushed in and gets killed. Snyder, oh no! That's unlucky. Spy pushes up top fat without realizing that there's heavies in server. Bad communication for sure from ATP there. Wasn't calling out where they were getting killed from.
Yeah, it was just a great push from Fiji. As soon as people were peeking from skinny, there was 2 heavies peeking each door from server. So there's nowhere for any of the ATP guys to go and hide.
So this is a nasty spot where the Bolt's playing right now, because this railing has some wacky geometry, just like the point. And if you play it here, heavies too, you can get a really nice, clean line of sight on the TR people respawning in door 1. I'm getting pushed away. And potentially, if you're Bolt, get a easy head. Let's follow the Bolt here, see how he plays this. Looks like he's staying with the door 1. A bit passive here, holding his own building, but, you know, maybe he's trying to get a pick on the Bolt. Yeah, looks like he's trying to counter Bolt. Bubbles wins the LA fight, and looks like he's trying to shoot down on Catwalk. Arkanox pushed up pretty far on Catwalk. Candy, unfortunately, missing his, sound like commissioner shots. Which means that ATP mostly pushed out, and no presence inside. Maybe they're going on a flank, because I don't see anybody around here. I'm gonna check out. Conk and dubs. Yeah, so that maybe there's a flank here. Unfortunately, I don't see anything.
Pushing
at all.
in by himself. I don't see any.
It's a 5-man just death ball basically.
It's been working out so far.
LA shooting down.
Picks.
Yep. LA goes down.
They
Warhammer
need to push
alone.
in. There's still people at door 1. They need to get inside and push.
They got picks. Okay, there we go. There's the death ball. Okay, it looks like they've got control of Fat. I'd like to see the point flip to their favor. Looks like they've got a heavy on that now. Because with 10 minutes left, like this point could go either way. And as a reminder for people who don't know the scoring, point cap is 9 points for the initial cap, and then subsequent recapture from the other team is 18 points for a total of net 9. So that's a really big game changer and can bring the score much closer than it is. Warhammer get it in bot.
Through door 3 right now.
Yeah, no one at dubs.
But
Oh,
the
well,
one
actually,
got
2 at
spotted
dubs.
out, so they should know.
A bit delayed. Sobek conking, big conk. So now TR definitely knows that there's NC in here. Probably doesn't know how many there are. 4 pushing from server side, and no ATP to respond. Golf shooting 1 in the back. Goes down to trades off Snyder. Good pick.
That's really good.
Yeah, but Spy is now stuck alone, and he's gonna make the smart move of backing out. Unfortunately, RT didn't get the memo. Killed around the corner. Also, look at that. Like he died here. It's a pretty wide gap.
I don't. So they had control of building. I'm not sure why Spy and RT were down at the bottom of Fat. They still had time to go up and help.
Yeah, I think they might have been
push
watching the
that was
door 3 flank, but they were a bit slow on it, and when they didn't hear that ATP was they didn't hear that Fiji was pushing from dubs, they were a bit slow to rotate back up to Fat. I think maybe comms need some work from the ATP side because maybe they just don't know where the Fiji players are at all times. Good double peek here. Unfortunately, Ellie's gonna wreck one, and RT medding goes down.
There. Whoa.
Yep.
But RT
Bubbles
almost
with the
getting
black
too
hand
commie.
at close range. It has the commie damage model. The only issue is that big hip fire. Snyder out with Desi's, trying to prevent a door 1 push. Bolt's
Getting shot
lit.
from door 3 and shuffling.
Yep. Empowered being flanked. Oh, but the LA there just in time. Bubble saves his life. Empowered, you got to thank your buddy LA there later on after the match. Door 2 goes down to Arcanox. Good trade. Or actually, that wasn't trade. He just straight up won that. Good 1v1 then.
I don't know. It looks like Fiji kind of closing the grip down on where ATP can go. They got a bolt up on top of balcony, so it's
Yep.
extremely
And
difficult to
LA's
get
got
door
roof control
3.
right now, so he's just shooting down. Didn't get the kill, but got them both spotted. So that means that ATP's not gonna be able to push that door 2 angle as easily. Bubbles goes down with the black hand in hand. So wasn't as
ATP
good aim as he
pushing
thought he could have.
inside.
Yep. I mean they've got
Going
roof
on
control now.
Fat right now. They have 2 in server as well. They have control of
Conk's out on
building.
Skinny, so it looks like Fiji made the smart call of trying to prevent a push down Skinny to prevent ATP from getting too aggro. But it looks like Fiji's all on respawn. Got 1 outside, 2 outside dubs right now.
Fiji conking in. Hitting almost all of the ATP guys in hallway right now. The crossfire's coming out from Fiji. Just
Really
wiping
nasty
everyone
gunplay.
out.
Yeah, the 1v1 skill we're seeing here from Fiji is really beating out ATP. Again, the times that the teams do play correctly, like when ATP did that push, that was, I would say, a good push, but they were just losing 1v1. Looks like RT is going on the same flank I mentioned before at the start of. They've got eyes on Bubbles. I'm not sure why they're not shooting him, because he's right there. Definitely see him. Oh no. Okay, finally. Oof. Took 2 people. I mean, LA's dead. They've got 1 pick for sure, and they're on a big flank right now at door 3. I think they should be having some presence at door 1 and be pushing this right now. Because respawn timers are quick, and I don't think Candy knows that Bubbles is already back.
There's 2 heavies over on Skinny right now from Fiji.
Yeah, the respawn, they waited far too long. They did push door 3, but by that time the respawns had already got them spotted. So they've got only 2 people inside. Fiji on the other hand also taking too long to push in, so you know, neither team doing a particularly good job of getting these flanks pushing in properly. It looks like Fiji's now pushing in to Fat, and ATP on their heels trying to back away. Oh, big knife from Snyder.
Good body shot. Yeah. Oh man.
Arcanox just stuck in a really weird situation. Oh,
Good
around the
bolt
corner,
actually
dude.
wipes him out.
Tucked in there. Yep. That was good. That was good from ATP. I like that. see how Fiji stacks up for this push, because right now they're out of building. Nobody dubs, and I did notice that there's an ATP guy peeking in and out to get spots. So that's really, really strong. I like that a lot. That really shows that ATP's aware of the map and where... Okay, not the LA though. Candy kind of mistiming that. He must have known that Fiji was on respawn. I'm not sure why he chose that door to go to roof to.
Got 3 pushing up from Skinny right now.
Yep, Sobek coming in.
They all got conked. RT getting 2.
1 HP, gets away. Sobek coming behind. Oh, big
Sobek
flank.
coming up behind.
Sobek, for what it's worth, missing a couple shots. And Golf on the respawn. It looks like ATP's respawn was just in the right time, but I don't think they got enough picks for it to be worth. Yeah, George still alone on Fat, but it looks like the rest of his team is mostly locking down server. 2 people left over. That's what I mean about respawn timers in this game. It's so important to understand where the enemy's going to be coming from and when, and calling out your kills is the only way for the rest of your team to know.
I think that's the 3rd time that Schneider has died at door 1 from people peeking door 3 because it's just sitting on the right side of door 1.
Huge push from ATP. They're basically allowed to walk in because they got an early pick, and George and whoever's in server... Oh, Sobek actually went down. Yeah, that makes sense.
I think everyone left. I've been saying this a lot. Is just when ATP pushes in, 1 or 2 people go down, and then everyone else from Fiji leaves, and then they
Backs
just
out.
push back.
Conserving
in
points, I
as a
mean, they
group.
help, but it's smart. I like the idea. At the same time, though, I would have liked to see a bit more just presence on top of Fat, just being able to see the enemies get some spots off. Because right now, when they do the back out, is nice, but you're also down 2 people. You got to wait a little bit. Not that point cap really matters at this point, and they're already 80 points ahead. So what am I saying? Looks like they're doing something right. Oh, excellent kill from Spy. Nearly kills another too. Big door 1 push. Nope, looks like they're stacking up again to go on a flank. Trying for another push here from 3 people. So even though ATP has gotten building control, they're just not fragging out enough when they do, and point gap just keeps continuing to widen. Golf double peaked and decied. Yeah, that's unlucky. I mean, 0 points is better than 1, so. Sobek really aggro here. Trades out. That was lucky that Arcanox was busy with another heavy. Spy playing this door 2 angle. He's 100% spotted. I don't see him winning.
Gets
okay.
LA's drops though. Trades
Yeah.
out.
So for what it's worth, George didn't win the 1v1. I would have expected a bit better, but maybe he wasn't spotted after all. Snowman's left alone on point. I hear an LA going roof. Let's see what the LAs are up to. I don't think either of them know where they are. Candy's got to push this. He must know where the LA is. Oh, no. Taking a bit too long here. Bubbles got it back to him, but he knows that Candy's far enough away. He doesn't have to worry too much. But really, Bubbles is pinched between the heavies pushing up catwalk. Bubbles drops and
Good
kills
2
Golf.
picks.
Candy just lagging behind way too much. That was a big kind of wrap around the roof. Probably waited much too long. Gave the LA too much breathing room. On a map like this, especially with Icarus jump jets, you can get up and down the roof so fast. George goes down. Candy Van, good pick. Here's the push I wanted to see. Look at this. Everybody pushing in. Good flank from door 3 and dubs.
Really good push up Fat.
Sorry,
now.
door 3 and door 1. Yep. Conks are out. There's 1 left in server. Or did he back out? He might have gotten killed. No, he backed out.
See, this is, like again, Fiji just backed out.
Yep.
They backed out of the building, and then they're going to group up, and they're going to throw conks in and push back in and wipe ATP.
They're playing this map really, really smart. It's an interesting strat because I'm used to seeing the players, stay in the building a little longer, try to get a pick before they, trade off. But this idea of, backing out and being able to push back in early, like as soon as you get your respawns, seems to be working for them pretty well because ATPs, when they get a wipe, they only hold the building for maybe half a minute at most. And then they make the mistake that happened first half where they push in, the respawns push in when they've already been wiped in the building and they get picked up.
Yeah, see it a lot is when they make that push in, when they throw conks up Fat, Fiji just leaves the building. They just entirely leave it, and the people that are playing Skinny run down and go through door 3, and then when they get through door 3, they push in, the people in dubs push in, and they just get us a good crossfire. There's nowhere for the ATP people to hide.
Yep. Bolt, excellent work from Warhammer taking down the Sobek over on door 3. Synovus left on point alone and gets killed by the LA. Yeah, that was a good drop by the LA. I think he got killed. Yeah. Try to save his buddy Bolt. Bolt's still alive somehow. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Goes down to RT, but for what it's worth, RT was down to probably 1 bullet of HP, so I'm going to say that was a win for the Bolt, even though he died.
The Bolt almost got the knife. I think he missed the headshot of the knife.
Yep. I'm stuck on geometry. Looks like another dubs push from Fiji, maybe? Let's go check outside there.
Wiping out the Bolt.
Yeah, definitely a dubs push here. We got empowered into server already. He's hard pushing that. Looks like he already knows that ATP's wiped from...
And that is game. That is game.
And that's game.
Wasn't even looking at the timer. There you go.
Pushes from Fiji.
I think for sure, and I think they're kind of strat, as you mentioned, of backing out when they're down numbers and pushing back in as a team really quickly. Like, they're fast. They're a really nimble team, I found, and playing with somebody else, I mean, you can see it in the score gap. We're almost 100 points difference. That only comes from one team really dominating over the other. In any case, I'm going to bring up the scores so we can take a look at them before they disappear. I'll go over ATP and you can hit Fiji up. So ATP 137 total points. Big minus points for some of these players though. Golf flew at minus 35 with 9 kills the entire match. Only 8 of those counting for points. That's brutal. And I think at that point that's not poor performance. That's tilting. When you get to a situation where you've died 44 times in half an hour and you've only managed to get 8 kills that counted, like you just lose the motivation. Yeah, like it's brutal. And sometimes communication falls apart. It's just a downward spiral. So hopefully he can come back from this and learn from his mistakes. But yeah, minus 35, definitely bringing down his team a little bit there. Arcano minus 18, also feeding quite a bit, but at least more reasonable. He's got 17 kills in the match. Spy minus 6 with net 36 kills. So big frag, but also died quite a few times. And I saw that a lot. He was getting some really aggressive peaks that worked sometimes, but not always. RT minus 8, Warhammer plus 4. So good work on the Bolt being positive here. And then Candyvan minus 12, probably losing the LA 1v1.
Man, the Fiji, big positive all across the board. Really impressive. And looking at the damage assist as well, you can tell they've had a lot of double peaks and all that. I mean, other than the LA, most...
I'm sorry about that. Flipping through scenes by accident with my arc.
20. I know you're fine, but like 20 damage assist almost across the board for everyone except for the LA. Meanwhile, you look at ATP, not really that many damage assists at all. I think, 63 total.
Big carries
Fiji
too, though. Like
twice.
Yeah, I want to point out though, just like you see some teams where all the players play at about the same level, and then some teams like this where you see huge discrepancies between top frags and bottom frags. Both teams have that. Bolt being plus 4 is like almost 40 points away from their biggest feed. Same thing, Bubbles being plus 25 almost, is 25 points away from the two bottom, not feeds, but bottom carries, I guess. So yeah, it's interesting to see where you sometimes have some teams that are just, have those 1 or 2 heavy assaults, those 1 or 2 bolts that are just really, really strong. Or really, really feeding, and I think that's what we saw here. So, unfortunate on ATP's part. I don't think it was a completely lost cause, though. They definitely had some good pushes there. Maybe just being able to understand that, you got to back out sometimes before you can push in as a team.
Yeah.
I think we will have the opportunity for an interview, though. So I'm going to go ahead and put up... actually, I'll leave it on this screen while I bring them up, potentially. We'll see if they have people in the lobby that want to interview.
Rapid is saying yes to the interview.
User was moved to your channel.
Oh, he doesn't have the interview thing, so he can't talk.
Oh.
Oh, there he
Pog
is.
champion.
Big
Hello.
Pog champion.
My name is Rapid Relief from the team Adenosine Triphosphate, located on Emerald Terran Republic. If you guys... Oh.
Yeah, get out of here.
I'm sorry, my apologies. I forgot, this is a super serious stream.
Big serious.
About that match, I noticed you didn't play in it, unless you're on one of your characters that I don't recognize the name of.
Yeah, I'm all 6 players on the team, except golf. That's not me either.
Gotcha.
But, yeah.
In any case, how did you feel about that match? I noticed that 100-point gap, not recoverable, but at the same time, I don't think that was hopelessly defeated. You just had a couple big feeds that I think might have done brought down the team a little bit, but not the worst. How do you think that went?
I don't know about 100-point gap, but me doing the math here, I'm seeing 91 currently.
Okay, not 91 point gap. You're right. You're right.
So,
That's a big difference.
I'm just saying, don't flame us that hard. As well as you can see that Fiji doesn't have anyone here, so obviously who won the morale battle? ATP is
I think
here,
in
representing.
terms of the interview 1v1, we really see Rapid coming out ahead.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, overall, I think we did play some players that haven't played in a long time, Golf being one of those players. Warhammer, absolutely popping off. He's a guy from RVNX. He lives in Australia, so of course we had to have that Aussie representation in the team. And then Candy also did really well on that first half. We're all really proud of him. He's literally brand new to PlanetSide. So yeah.
Yeah, that's...
Most definitely, and also the positions that Bubbles was taking,
User
he was
joined your
always a
channel.
little bit farther back on the map. He wasn't really trying to camp, so something that we went over with Candy is like trying to approach the routes at different angles. But when Bubbles isn't so close, sitting above door 1, which is what we had to deal with earlier, that was what we planned around. Since Bubbles wasn't taking these really hyper-aggressive angles, Candy wasn't able to counter those, so that's why he wasn't able to do what he wanted to do as much. Yeah. Ooh, quick thing. I'm hearing TwitchSat complain about no talking, no hearing. How can you talk without talking? So
See if
make sure
that's
that
fixed.
the audio is good.
There we go. Sorry about that, Twitch chat. I know everyone in TeamSpeak can hear me. Sometimes the push to talk for OBS just gets really wacky. But the question to Rapid was just how he felt about the game, so you didn't really miss much. But I'm switching it back over to Sobek now. I was asking him, so Bogang and I both noticed that Fiji had a strategy of backing out of the building when they got too many people picked on their team and then pushing back in as one group. And I was wondering if that was kind of like a coordinated, like you had somebody on your team calling that out, or it was just kind of everyone knew to back out when they were low on numbers?
Yeah, I mean, as far as like our roster goes, we've played a fair amount of practice matches leading up to the tournament, so it's just something we kind of worked on over time. Initially, when we started, like we would feed in that instance and get picked off in 1v2s, 1v3s, so on and so forth. But we realized that's really not beneficial to the group in the long run. So if you're going to take that numbers advantage down, just back out, regroup, reset.
Yep, yeah, and you guys do the
kinda
double
what we
peeking
go for.
really, really well. I've noticed that as a team, like you guys play tight together, both like, pushing as a team, but also on an individual level, making sure you're buddying up before you peek a doorway. And I think it caught ATP's heavies out of position a couple times where, they'd push into a door expecting only one Fiji heavy, but, he was just baiting and then there was another one there to clean up the kill. So I think really, really good work there. In terms of, both you guys, is there anything you guys felt you could have improved on or something that, didn't go quite as planned in that match?
Personally, from ATP, dealing with flanks and calling them out and addressing them is something that we would need to work on. You saw many times during the match that a flank up big would catch the team off guard, right? Someone would push up big and we're all looking down skinny or inside of dubs, and we don't turn around until it's too late. And then the guy flanking usually is the one that cleans up the hold. But yeah, I think that was one of their biggest weaknesses.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I'd say pretty much likewise. Chak's a map that lends pretty strongly to the flanks. On the first half, I would say their LA did a pretty good job in getting those flanks in. Whether we had it called out or spotted and, just didn't react quickly enough, or we didn't have them called out or spotted at all. They definitely got some successful ones in there. And then, that was something we talked about at half and wanted to just prioritize making sure we had that flank called out.
It looks like it worked out.
Better in the second half there.
I think so. Point gap winded a little more, and I think you guys kind of showed a bit more of an aggressive hold outside of the building, so it definitely paid off. In any case, we're wrapping up because we're coming up to the 50-minute mark after the stream started, and I don't believe there's any more streams after tonight for this weekend, but I do know that either throughout the course of the week or most definitely next weekend, starting on Friday, there's going to be more PIL matches, so be sure to stay tuned. There should be a schedule up in the PSB events Discord, so if you're interested in finding out when matches are happening or who's playing where, what the bracket looks like, feel free to grab yourself a PIL role inside the PSB Discord, or just keep an eye on this channel. Most of the matches will be casted, and you'll be able to see how the teams in blue and orange bracket are playing. With that, I'm going to throw up the splash screen. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you, Bagong, for co-casting, and thanks to the captains for a fun match. Yeah, Weeps Rise Up, that's right. If you haven't seen the streamer intro for me, be sure to tune into the next one, because it's a good time. All right, see you guys later.
Big thanks for casting the match, guys. Thanks again.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem, guys.